Valorant is a game with a ton of different kinds of players and personalities. Well, sometimes the people are amazing and fun that you meet, and you could even make some friends while playing the game. There is another group of people that I'm going to call the 7 deadly sins of Valorant, which are people that you typically would rather avoid if at all possible. And the first Valorant sin we definitely got to talk about is greed. Now, this is one of the most annoying types of people to play with because they will literally not buy for anyone. They will hold on to all their money if at all possible, and if they ever get to the point where they have enough money to buy for other people and they know people are going to ask, they would much rather just force on the save rounds and make sure that they spend every drop of their money. And a matter of fact, they would rather buy themselves a sheriff as an alternative or upgrade to an op when they really shouldn't, just so that they don't have any money. But what they should really be greedy for is greedy for a higher rank, and that's where SkillCapped's got you covered. If you're having problems with your consistency, SkillCapped has mechanical warm-ups that will help you build in a routine that will maintain that consistency, so you'll stop having wins and losses and wins and losses and have a positive win rate to climb. And the best part about it is that we offer a money-back guarantee, so if you don't climb, you don't pay. It's literally risk-free, so be greedy for that higher rank, and check it out right now in the links down below. Now, greed is actually not one of the worst Valorant deadly sins. This next one is a very common one and is a bit worse, and it's pride. Now, this is the player that always wants to defend their stats to other people. And you see, at the end of the day, someone that is a prideful Valorant player thinks that they are God's gift to Valorant, and it's only a matter of time. If they keep playing the game, they will just magically end up on a pro team, because that's just how good they are. That's how good their talent is. That's how amazing they will become. And in their games, they will oftentimes constantly feel the need to defend their stats to other people. So if they're not having a pop-off game, they're gonna blame everyone around them. They're gonna blame you. They're gonna blame some broken strategy the enemy is using, and they will often give justifications for their death. You'll hear this often where they die and they'll say something like, "Oh my god, this is so broken," and then they'll go on a big tangent. But the prideful player is common because oftentimes you need the confidence in order to get better at Valorant. The confidence that you believe you can get better and go beyond other people and become a Radiant, become a top tier player. But in order to have that confidence, pride will creep in, and pride oftentimes will overtake someone completely before they actually have the skills to back up that level of confidence. And this is why this is one of the most common Valorant deadly sins. The next off, we do gotta talk about envy, and this one is the person who is always jealous of what other people have. And this is one of the most salty types of people in comms. They will often try to find ways to make fun of people even though they themselves want what that other person has. So let's say you're playing, laughing with your buddies, making jokes. They'll find a way to insult you. They'll find a way to laugh at you, make fun of you, because they themselves can't find anyone that wants to play with them, and they're a little bit jealous of it deep down. On top of that, you might have a rank, like a higher rank gun buddy or something along the lines, and they're the first to say, "Wow, what are you doing all the way down here?" Even though they themselves really want that gun buddy. They really see all these things that they want, you know, a buddy that grinds with them, or they want a higher rank, and then they just look for ways in which to be salty about what they don't got. And the sad part is, when you're really salty about someone else's skills, rank, accomplishments, even friends, you're less likely to get all those things because that's gonna creep into everything you do and how you act. I really kind of feel bad a little bit for the person with the deadly sin of envy, because I feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oftentimes the person that is super envious will act in a way that makes it so it's hard for them to get what they want, making them more envious, and the cycle continues over and over again. The next up, this is one that everyone has felt, maybe even been this deadly sin a time or two, and it's wrath. And this is the mad gamer, right? The person that is lashing out at everyone and everything, right? It's not the type of person that is just blaming people like pride. This is the person that is actively raging and mad. Maybe they're mad at the game, maybe they're mad at devs, maybe they're mad at their buddies, maybe they're mad at themselves. I don't know why they're mad, but they're just freaking mad. They'll lash out at anyone and everyone, and it could be for a million reasons. It could be about stuff in game, it could be about stuff out of game. Maybe you're just a person that has a propensity to just be mad all the time, but they will often say the most crazy, out-of-pocket, wild thing in an effort to make you feel a little bit of the same rage they do. If things can devolve into a yelling match between you and them, they have won, and you never want to go go there with someone that's wrathful. You would much rather just completely disengage because you know that they're gonna have like a bad day no matter what you do or say. So you might as well just leave them to their own devices and let them be mad in a room by themselves for the rest of the day, okay? But if you asked me, I would actually prefer the wrathful gamer over this next Valorant deadly sin, Sloth, the person that embodies laziness and apathy. So this is the type of person that is playing Valorant with no joy, devoid of all emotion, right? You pop off and get a kill, get a clutch, they're not gonna say anything. If they pop off and they clutch a 1v5, they're not gonna even be phased. They could not care about anything. Their wins, their losses, nothing at all. They have no feeling about what's going on in the game. And while this type of person is never gonna be like a net negative overall to your experience in a game, it's almost like they don't exist in a way that they just don't seem to care. I mean, it's surprising that this type of sin even exists in games at all. These are the people that don't really even care. You're surprised they're even playing. You're surprised they're even playing anything or doing anything. And I think that this is the one deadly sin that probably makes a lot of the more passionate deadly sins mad, whether it's wrath, pride, greed. A lot of these types of people will really not work well with Sloth. Maybe that's a self-report, but you know, you tell me. Now, moving on to number 6, this has to be the most hated deadly sin in all of Valorant by far, and it's the Valorant deadly sin of lust. And yes, we know about the e-dater problem going on in Valorant. For a lot of people, Valorant is like a Tinder alternative, where you're gonna see some him, her usernames and some wacky things going on in games, people following each other around, healing only each other. And yeah, you know, maybe it's because I'm old, but it's really cringe. Like, get that shit out of my FPS game. Please get it out. I think this is like the worst thing possible. But actually, there's an easy solution to break this up. I actually love it. I saw a TikTok on this where you pretend that you saw the guy playing with another girl, right? And then they just self-destruct because, I mean, the relationship is literally being held together by a tripwire and, you know, it's super easy to disrupt, make it crumble. Every Valorant e-date couple that is broken up is like one step closer to making gaming like, you know, great again, okay? And then the last but certainly not least one on this list is Gluttony. You know, the person that literally doesn't touch grass. I know that that's like a common joke that everyone makes all the time, but like this person literally doesn't. Oftentimes they're gonna be staying in their room, Uber eating food in their room, locking in and playing the game. They're always online. Pretty much every time you get online, they're gonna message you, ask play, and they do nothing else but play, stay in their room, grind, and that's all they do. And look, I understand locking in, grinding, getting better, but you gotta understand that with everything, you're gonna be better with balance, right? If you're just someone that doesn't see the sun, you are actually gonna be worse than the person that makes time and effort to go out, hang out with friends, see the light, see the grass, touch it, and you know, get some exercise. You're gonna be better at gaming too, I promise you. So yeah, this is a pretty sad deadly sin, but it does exist. But did I get any of these deadly sins wrong? And what is the worst deadly sin in your opinion that you meet in Valorant ranked? Let me know in the comments down below, and check out SkillCapped right now to get better right here.